Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here, and a very warm welcome to my preview for Doctor Who Season 11, Episode 8, and a title we can all pronounce, The Witchfinders. And actually, despite me finding many episodes of this season really boring, The Witchfinders does sound kind of interesting and looks interesting. And clips that I've seen of the 13th Doctor, I can... Not what she's saying, but her composure looks very interesting, like she's the hero, she's the character to focus on. And I hope that's the case. Now, let me clarify a few things, because a few people kind of think I'm just being negative for the sake of it. I liked The Woman Who Fell to Earth. I liked Episode 2. I loved Episode 3. But Episode 4 and onwards have been very dull and uninteresting. And it's really since Episode 4 that I've been kind of really negative about this season. Now, why does The Witchfinders interest me? I like the kind of time it's set in. I like the idea of the Doctor facing something, because basically witches were killed back in the day because people were afraid of them. And so I like that concept of, going against something that people are afraid of, because it can be a commentary on so many things. And I think we've had enough commentary this season to last us Doctor Who fans a lifetime. But I just feel that this one could be really, really interesting. Now, also what's interesting is, will these people actually be witches, or will they just be people accused of witchcraft? Because again, back in the day, if you didn't like someone, you could accuse them of witchcraft and have them killed. That's the kind of mentality and culture there was back then. And I suppose it's very similar to these days, where you can literally be hated and be trolled and abused for being a white man in his 40s. It's true, isn't it? How many times have we seen it on Twitter? So I do find this episode really, really interesting. I just hope the Doctor can excite me again. I hope Doctor Who as a show can excite me again, because since episode 4 I just haven't been very, very excited for this show. Now, I think we do need to clarify something else, because I am so bored of these arguments and these videos about falling ratings for Doctor Who. Listen, yes, it started off at 8 million and it's fallen to just under 6. Yes, I get it. But in comparison to Capaldi's final season, they're very, very strong ratings. But yes, in comparison to how we started in episode 1 and 2, they have absolutely gone down. When you've got just over 8 million and you fall to what they've gone. But they've actually, since episode 4, I think they've been pretty solid, staying around 6, just under 6. And ultimately, when you get all of the numbers with the on-demand and the streaming, they do come out pretty strong. So I think definitely the mainstream audience are staying loyal with this show. But I've bored you to death about ratings not mattering, and it's about merchandise and people buying the Blu-rays and things like that. And I've said, and I'll say it again, the mainstream audience aren't going to keep Doctor Who in the custom it's been used to, in terms of buying the merchandise and buying the Blu-rays, because only diehards do that. They might sell a few Jodie figures, I suppose. I mean, the LBGT community has really come in to support Doctor Who. But then when you look at Jodie's outfit, it pretty much is saying, LBGT community, come here. Look at my top. Look at the colours on it. What does that mean? It's the LBGT symbol, isn't it? Now, in a way, I think that's really positive that the LBGT community have come in to watch it. But they really are supporting an empty shell so far. And it's not like they're actually being represented. Think about it, right? Lots of cultures have been represented. Have you seen any gay people? Have you seen any transgender characters? Maybe I've missed them. Maybe you can tell me. Maybe you can comment down below. But it's not like they're representing you, is it? And I mean, if you're going to go down the representation route and make it more important than the creative stories, the character development, and creatively all in, then you've got to represent everyone. And when you've got to represent everyone, you get yourself in a bit of a muddle, because you can't represent everyone, can you? I'm a Greek Cypriot. Am I represented? No, because us Greek Cypriots haven't got that beak. We don't go on and on about representation, so we don't get represented. And so I think if you're going to pull in the LBGT community, you best be doing something. So maybe they've got something planned. So yes, you've got to represent everyone, or I'm not saying don't represent anyone, but you've got to be less arrogant and at least develop your characters, flesh out your characters. And they haven't fleshed out these characters, especially Yaz. I think we're still trying to figure out what motivates her. We did it in The Woman Who Fell to Earth because we knew she wanted more responsibility as a police person. And ultimately, that hasn't been a situation. I mean, the Doctor is actually just as bad as her boss in the police station, because she doesn't really seem to give her much responsibility or much respect. And I know this is supposed to be a preview for the next episode, and I've kind of covered it because we don't really know much about the episode. But I didn't just want to say blah, 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 this is the Witchfinder, the Hunting Witches, goodbye. I want to talk about Doctor Who. Oh, Jodie, I didn't mean that. Doctor Who. Who. It was actually a mistake. Don't get offended. So we need to talk about Doctor Who as a whole. And I think it's very interesting seeing that I seem to be the only person who thought is it Kablam or Shablam, whatever, right? That it was quite a boring episode. Everyone was saying, this is like an RTD episode. This is amazing. I didn't think it was amazing. The only time I was entertained was when Yaz and Ryan fell down the chute. So I do think it's really interesting as well that we, in fact, don't know anybody's sexuality apart from Graham's. I mean, I've never heard Ryan talk about previous girlfriends. Maybe I have. Maybe I have and I missed it. Yaz hasn't talked about boyfriends or girlfriends. So it is very interesting that a kind of show that's meant to be revolutionary and meant to be representative of so many people hasn't exactly represented sexual preferences. So I think that's very interesting that they kind of copped out there. And I just feel that the way we're heading with TV and film right now, that entertainment is the last thing they're thinking about. And again, I want to say this, and I need to say this. Stop going on about Doctor Who being too PC. Stop talking about Jodie Whittaker being a bad actor, because she's not. Doctor Who always being diverse and representative, right? Get my words out. It's still early here, and I've still got lots of booze in my system. I know, terrible, isn't it? But basically, Doctor Who used to be an entertaining show. Certainly within the revival, that used to be the core thing, that you'd see the Doctor and his companion have this banter. And this is something else I wanted to say as well. Isn't it interesting that that David Tennant's and Olivia Colman's characters in Broadchurch had great banter, but not one of the companions or the Doctor have banter, good banter between themselves. You would have thought after travelling together for over half a season, the banter would be there. Whatever show you talk about, Buffy, Smallville, previous seasons of Doctor Who, the banter's been there between the characters. There is no banter. There's no warmth. They're just these four people travelling together. And you still don't kind of know why they put up with each other, because it's not like there's any connection apart from with Graham and Ryan. So I also find very interesting that in Broadchurch, Chibnall did give us this great banter, but in Doctor Who, there wasn't great banter. Basically, I'm holding this. This is my PS4 controller, just in case you saw it pop up there. I'm not trying to hide anything from you. Basically, if I don't hold this, then my screensaver, which I love, my Batman v Superman screensaver, will go off. It's annoying. I think I can change the settings. Anyway, so the Witchfinders this Sunday, I don't know what time it is. Is it 7? Is it just before 7? Don't know. I shall watch it, of course. I am literally keeping faith with Doctor Who because it's Doctor Who. I'm hoping these these last three episodes should really be homing in what Chris Chibnall wants to do. Also, I notice on Twitter now they're really pushing the New Year's Day episode. I went onto the BBC News site. I followed a link and they were really talking about this episode. It's going to be an Earth-based episode, by the way. I know. They're going back home again. So, which is really boring, right? But it does sound like there's going to be an alien threat. It sounds like the Christmas invasion, which I, of course, love. But I don't know why they're pushing a New Year's Day episode when they've got 3 more episodes to go. As I said to one of the people who work on the show who was pushing it, I said, listen, I can only think of 1 episode at a time, lol. Exactly what I said, because I don't want to think about the New Year's Day episode. First of all, it just makes me angry that we don't have the Christmas Day episode. I know it's only a week away, but still, it's rather pathetic. And then, of course, after the New Year's Day episode, it will all go quiet on the Western Front. I wonder if we'll find out about Season 12 officially before that episode, because the rumours are mounting. I just think when you get rumours like 6 episodes in Season 12 that Chibnall and Whittaker will leave after those episodes, which are rumours, of course, you need to kind of come out with something official. So, right, no, this is not true. We're back next year with another 10 episodes. There's no problem. Jodie doesn't want to spend more time with her family. Well, of course she does, but she's happy with her schedules and everything. And Chris will be here for the foreseeable. That's what you should do. This is what you should come out and say things straight. But at the end of the day, this is what I hate sometimes when rumours come, whether it's about football or a TV show or a film. Just come out and dispel the rumours. I like what the DCEU directors are doing now. Like people like David F. Sandberg and James Wan. When they read something on Twitter that's wrong, they say, no, this is not true and this is what's happening. And I like that because it's someone who's very much involved with what you're interested in. And they say, no, this is not true. And you believe them because they're totally shooting it down. They're not trying to be politicians and say, well, you know how it works. So this is why I just wish that they would just come out and just tell us, right, everything in the garden is rosy. Because as long as they're not saying anything, that rumour about only 6 episodes on Whittaker and Chibnall leaving is now found its way over to Screen Rant, which is a very massive American site which mainly talks about films. In fact, mostly talks about the DCEU and the MCU. So it's a very big site for it to be on. So either it was a slow news day over in the States or this rumour has a lot of validity. And if it has a lot of validity, as much as I've been bored with a lot of Season 11, I'm not going to cheer if Chibnall and Jodie leave, because I think with every Doctor, with every new season, it takes a while to come accustomed with what they're doing. And I believe they should be given a chance to do their thing. Don't come in here with Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker and do what you're doing and then say, oh, that's it. You know, if Chris didn't want to do this, he shouldn't have done it in the first place. If Jodie didn't want to commit so much time, and I'm not saying that's true, but if it's true, she shouldn't have done this. You know, let's be clear here, a lot of people have invested in Jodie's Doctor now, and it's not fair on them. It's not fair on them for her to walk away and say, bye now, I've made my point, a woman can be a Doctor. Bye. No, I'm sorry. You've got a lot of fans now, Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall, who are turning up every week. You're getting about 6 million viewers just on live views. You know, that's very strong. Now, I might not be enjoying the season, but those people are. So if you walk away now, you are very wrong and you are betraying the message you are trying to send out. So definitely, I want to see Chibnall and Whittaker hone their Doctor Who vision and give us at least another 2 seasons, 10 episodes a year. It's a lot of work, but, you know, when you think about a lot of the American shows, that some of them are even 23 episodes, I think it's not so bad for you lot. So you've taken the job, you've taken the big challenge of making Doctor Who, of making a new age representative Doctor Who. Do it, but make it entertaining. And you've got to stick around for the next 2 years. Even though I'm not very happy with what's going on right now, I don't think it would be fair for all the people that you've brought in from the outside of the mainstream audience for you just to walk away. So that's my preview of the Witchfinders. As I say, there wasn't really much to say about the episode, so I just thought I'd have a conversation about Doctor Who in general. So keep it here. Like the video if you like it. Press it down if you don't like it. You know, thumbs down. Share the channel, share the video. Let people know I'm here if you like what I do. Because you know what? I like you.